And so Radio Veritas 576 AM it is, and my name Khanya Litabe. You're listening to Matins. I'm joined in studio now by Father PJ Cassidy and Castorel Prince. They're from the Safeguarding Committee in the Archdiocese of Johannesburg. And we want to talk safeguarding. Morning to Castorel and Father PJ. How are you this morning?
Very
good.
We're good.
Khanya.
We were up early this morning. We were in the traffic jam with all the people there, but we got here. Got
Yes.
here on time, huh? Yeah.
Yes.
The traffic jam early in the morning, that's Joburg for you.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yesterday you were in Westbury.
We were in Westbury,
Yes.
yeah. I was in the middle. I went to the meeting of the Ndaba with the Minister for Police and the Minister for Public Order and the Lord Mayor and all these wonderful people. And then so many police were in Westbury yesterday. It would be the wrong day to do any crime, I felt like a king. I had all this protection around me, I hope something comes out of it, because certainly this last 2 or 3 weeks it's been a war zone, if you want. Yeah,
Yes,
it's been
yes.
horrific, and the people were allowed to speak, which was good, and you could hear the cry deep down in their hearts, for their community, and the cry for those who have been shot dead and killed and so on in the community. And it's really sad. It's really sad
Yes.
to hear there are people, not only the last 2 or 3 weeks, but the last 20 years, or 30 years or 40 years, have been really suffering with the event of crime and substance abuse and gangland killings and so on in the community.
But talking about protection, I mean, this is what the Safeguarding Committee does. It's about protection of minors and those that are vulnerable. Since the last time we spoke, you were doing the vetting at that time and so on. Where are we now?
Casserelle, do you want to look at that?
So the vetting, we've had 3 in-person workshops at the cathedral, and with every workshop we've invited the organization to do the vetting. So those participants that were there were able to do the vetting. And we've also encouraged them to go ahead on their own when they roll it out in their parishes to invite the organization. It's quite helpful for them to come, and they do it, no hassles, no problems.
Yes.
So, we've had about almost
There's 265
Sure.
people
from the cathedral that were vetted.
Yes.
And then there's been many other parishes that have gone on their own and done it.
And vetting means you check criminal records, you check all sorts of
That's
things.
it,
Yes.
yeah, indeed. And we go into the background check, and and sadly there's been a number of positive reports have come back of people who are catechists and so on. Some of those allegations or crimes have come back to, we say, the mid-1980s and 90s, and so they've all been cleared up and so on. They're fine. But some are quite recent as well, who are still being investigated by the police and by the police informants. So what we do, we inform the parish priests of these particular parishes. Now, they may not necessarily be related to child protection or anything out there. It may be something to do with corruption or maybe something to do with whatever. But we do put the parish priest informed, and he's to take it forward then with the particular person. So it's good to have it, and it's to know that our children are safe and our people are safe, and that and we feel as if we're creating a good environment and a safe environment for our people to come to church and to pray to God, and to have our kids in catechism classes who are protected by those who are catechists who are teaching our kids.
Yes. And in terms of now take up, Castorel, in parishes of the Safeguarding Committee, how's that been going?
So far, so good. We've only had good feedback. What we're looking at this year is trying to get more input from these committees of how the implementation is going. But as we've rolled out the training, these committees have gone back to their parishes, and I think it's been smooth sailing because we haven't had any hectic responses.
Yes.
But part of the plan for this year is to engage more on how it is going and what we can do more as a committee to support them in the implementation process.
In terms of, cases, are you getting any cases?
Yeah, there's been now about 3 or 4 cases that have come in, and most of those cases at present are related to religious orders, or so we directed back to the religious orders to deal with it, and they should have a good safeguarding person involved and their own policy of safeguarding as well with the religious orders. As regards to local diocesan priests, we haven't had any, and you would imagine that over this last, we say, 2 years that we have been publicising safeguarding in the parishes and the posters up and so on, and that there'll be more. But thank God there isn't. So
Yes.
we don't know. Maybe in the future there will be more, but we will deal with it as we come up against it. But at the moment, it's mainly directed towards the religious orders, and they're dealing with it and we follow up that they do deal with it
Yes.
in the right way, in the correct way.
And you have submitted now your report, as you said,
For last year, yeah.
For last year,
Yeah.
in for the diocese and the chancellor, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And to all the priests,
Yes.
all the parishes got the report as well, from a financial point of view, and also on what we've rolled out to the different parishes. The report, I must say, from my point of view, it's been a good report. When you're dealing with anything on a diocesan level, it takes time to implement it. And certainly with safeguarding, people may say, well, why safeguarding? Why do we need it? And so on. And I think that those questions are being slowly dissipated. In other words, people are realising that there is a need for safeguarding.
Yes.
And we look at the world, and we look at how the church has responded to the world, and how there has been many allegations against clerical abuse in the world. We realise here in South Africa that it's better to be proactive rather than reactive. And I think in the diocese and the Archdiocese, we're trying to be more reactive and put the things in place on the ground with our parishes and with our committees, safeguard committees in the different parishes, and the vetting process. And certainly last year, I think everyone in the Archdiocese, and I mean everyone, right from the priest, from His Grace, the priests, down to the people on the ground and our safeguarding committee, we can give a small little handshake that we're moving in the right direction. We're not there yet. We have a lot of work to do yet, but we're certainly moving in the right direction.
And talk about that lot of work for this year. What can you expect from the safeguarding committee, or what can parishes expect from you?
It will be pretty much the same, just trying to get as much people trained on the policy, what it's about. So we have our first 2 sessions for the year coming up, the 25th of March and the 22nd of April. So those who have not had any sort of participation in safeguarding can join us at these sessions. And then another angle of ours is to try and go and approach it through deaneries, because we know some of the deaneries are so far, and coming to the cathedral might not be that easy. So we are looking at a way where we will go out to them and bring the training to them. And so deanery level is our other angle.
Yes.
Like last night I already had Vincent Williams, who's the Dean of the Soweto, and he was on to me last night, and he's provisionally booked us for the 13th of May to do a workshop in the Sowetan Deanery, and they're very proactive, I must say. It's wonderful to see it, that they're taking initiatives for us to go there and to do the presentation with them, and also would bring the vetting agency along with us as well to do the vetting on that particular day as well. I think as well on the 30th of July we've got Safeguarding Sunday.
Oh yes.
And that's a big event for us, and this year is going to be slightly different. We want each parish to introduce their safeguarding committee to the parishioners to make them aware that there is a safeguarding committee in their parish. We also have the second collection. We wouldn't be Catholic if we didn't have a nice collection. Okay, so it's nice to have. And indeed, we have to give credit to the parishes who have donated and have helped us with their funding. And then added to this day, it'll be a fun day for children. So we expect the safeguarding committee to organise a fun day for our children, in the parishes.
Yes.
It's a day just that it's not all about doom and gloom, as it were. It's something that we want our children to smile with as well, and that they feel happy and they feel safe, and that we can celebrate these occasions in our parish as well. So we hope that will certainly be very much part of the programme and the pastoral programme of any parish. And the PPCs, so I hope that they will start to get ready for that. And they've already got the directives for the year, so they know about it already.
Yeah.
And then obviously the audit. The audit is a big thing for us as well. It's going to start probably around the 20th of August, and we will do an audit of all the parishes, those who partaked, those who are sort of 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and those who haven't partaked at all. And we're going to base it around a robot colour. So those red is non-compliant,
yes.
Amber is semi-compliant, and green is fully compliant.
Yeah.
Good.
And there's a number of different criteria that we follow for the audit itself.
So mark those dates, the 25th of March and the 22nd of April for to come to the workshops. And then the 22nd of July, of course, it's Safeguarding Sunday.
30th of July.
30th of July. Come, make sure that your parish is doing something for Safeguarding Sunday.
Absolutely, yeah. And then the 20th of August, we will start to roll out then the audit itself.
Yes.
So we hope that we can manage those dates.
Well, I think it's going to be really great. You say, in terms of people that you've trained, about 400? No, 265, yeah.
No,
265.
265 who are vetted and trained.
And
400 are trained, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, that's a lot of people.
Yeah. And this includes, because for the first half of the year last year, we had to do virtual sessions. So those we take into account, and then the 3 in-person workshops at the cathedral. So it should amount to around that amount.
Yes. And so make sure, as I say, you mark these dates, 25th of March, the 22nd of April, and the 30th of July. And then from the 20th of August, then the audits are happening. Yeah. What do you want to share now about Safeguarding Sunday? If for somebody who hasn't heard about Safeguarding Committee, and maybe they suspect that something's happening in the parish, maybe something's happening to that child and so on. What's the first step?
Well, I think Father PJ is more firm on the audit, and that scares people a bit. But for me, it would just be that just realize the intensity of what we're doing and why it's important. And when you realize that, then you'll want to do more. And I just want people to get out there, spread the awareness, and become active in this implementation. And obviously, the audit is a consequence if you have not done anything. Yes. But it's not too late, because we're starting over again. We're here to support you. We're here to guide you. So just come to the party. That's all from my side.
No, indeed. And the audit's not we're not a policing agency, yeah? We're there to help our people. And we're here
though you have the police.
No, the police are on our doorstep, and we've got plenty of police around Westbury at the moment. But we basically want our people just to come on board with this reality. And there was a priest who's just been appointed to our parish, and he was worried that there was nothing in the parish as regards safeguarding. So he wrote to us the other day. And we already responded to him with the posters, where he can find the policy, and we encourage him to have a safeguarding committee and so on. Nobody's too late to come to the party, absolutely not. And when we do the audit, we're doing the audit in order to find what's going on the ground.
Yes.
It's not to say that we're going to come with handcuffs and arrest them and so on. Not at all. It's basically to say that where are you on the ground? What do you need help with? And we're certainly there to help them in the rollout of the safeguarding reality in the parishes. So, but now maybe in 2 years' time, when we do a full audit, that'll be a different story. By then they should be on board. And if they're not on board by then we will certainly we'll be making recommendations to the Archbishop, who will follow it up seriously that they need to do something more.
Yes, and the mandate for this, comes from Pope Francis himself.
Absolutely,
yes.
yeah, absolutely, and it's important that it comes from. We've heard different stories of the world, and we've heard 2 weeks ago about Portugal and the allegations in Portugal and so on. Maybe 5,000 young people have been affected by abuse of clerics, and probably more will come out in the future as well. So, in other words, that's why we say we want to be proactive in this regard. When and if there is allegations out there that need to come in, need to be dealt with, that we've got a good foundation on the ground. We know what to do. We know how to respond, and that's what we really want. We want a transparent reality of pastoral work in our parishes, that people can ultimately feel safe. Also becomes an agent of the society as well, that if they know that the Catholic Church is involved in safeguarding and tries its very best to roll out safeguarding in the parish, that it also goes out into the wider society as well. That if there is an issue in society, then maybe our safeguarding committee can come on board and can look at it and see what to do with it and how to respond to it.
We have Cultural Prince and Father PJ Cassidy. They are from the Safeguarding Committee in the Archdiocese of Johannesburg. And how do people get in touch with you? Should they want to be part of it? Should they want to start? Should they all that?
The main contact is our email address. But I feel like people go to Father PJ more. He gets all the WhatsApps and calls.
It's okay.
But we do have a very active email address, and we respond as fast as we can. So the email address is
safeguarding at Catholic JHB.
That's
Yes.
it, yeah. That's
Yes.
it.
.org.za.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So
That's it.
safeguarding at
catholicjhb.org.za.
.org.za.
And if the posters are up, as I hope they are in the parishes, my WhatsApp and telephone number is there as well.
Yes.
So, and we're ready to help anyone who needs help. So that, and we meet on a, myself and Casserelle meet on a Wednesday morning. That's when we deal with all the emails. We don't meet every day. We meet on a Wednesday morning. And people ask us, where's the office? I said, the office is on my stoop of my parish. That's where the office is. And we run everything from there. And we're quite happy to run it from there. And we get a number of priests. I get a number of priests visiting me and talking about safeguarding and so on, which is good. So we're ready to help anyone who needs help. But we expect parishes to run it by themselves as well, to take ownership of it.
Yes.
The basics are there. The policy is there on the website. We've given the structures and the protocols. Now it's up to the parishes to bring it home. Bring safeguarding home to the parishes.
Yes.
And we can't determine what happens in every parish, of course, but we do hope that the basics are in every parish and that they can run with it.
It's all about the parishioners feeling safe in a parish, in the church, in general as well. And that's Casserelle Prince and Father PJ Cassidy. Your closing words.
Yes, over.
Well, we're looking forward to a productive year. We're looking forward to engaging with everyone on this. People that work in this space, you guys bring a different element to it. So please do come, and whatever you can offer, we will take. But we, as a committee, are there to support everyone, whether you've participated or not. For those who have participated, we really would like to say thank you, and just keep doing the work that you're doing.
Yes.
Myself, this on International Women's Day, which is great. It's a great occasion to be able to come into Radio Veritas and have this platform to be able to talk about safeguarding. And without a doubt, it's wonderful to be able to come here and to share our story with the greater world of South Africa and the Catholic world of South Africa. What I hope for this year is exactly in line with what Casserelle said, that we just want people on board. We want people to be happy. We want our churches to be happy. We want our children to be very happy in our churches, that they feel as if they're being listened to. And indeed, that we have to respect them. We have to respect them in every way, that we're, whatever happens in our church, it must be transparent in their homes as well. That we want to bring, as I said, safeguard not only home to the churches, but also home to the homes of our people as well. That there's a reality that once our children feel safe and happy, that environment will transpire into their lives as well, and they will be great and proud to be South African and proud to be happy in their lives.
So make sure you email safeguarding@catholicjhb.org.za. In fact, you can call the Chancellor offices as well in Johannesburg, 011-402-6400. You'll get more information out of them as well, and they'll lead you to Father PJ and to Casserelle as well. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Okay,
I wish we could go, through everything. It's just the time that says,
No problem. We're quite happy to come anytime you want.
Thank you very much for
bless
the PJ.
You all, okay? Bless everybody.
God bless.
God bless.